tall, but I'm standing in front of you.
It's a podcast.
Wow. Hello. Don't worry. Let me unmute you, Devin. All right. Welcome. Now you need to unmute yourself.
All right, here we go. Am I coming through?
You're coming through, Devin.
I'm just so brimming with excitement, Ethan, because, this is the biggest night of the year for us.
It is.
We don't really check, we clear this, schedule this date so far in advance. I apologize if it's conflicting for anybody, but this is just the night we happen to be free to be giving out our awards, the standees.
Yeah, the Tallies, of course.
And moments from the year. The standees, they're called.
Yeah, Tallies.
And, we're more prepared than we've ever been.
Yeah.
There's, as long as there's no major media events happening tonight that would perhaps suck away our audience, I think we're good. Ethan, do you know of anything going on right now? Maybe why people are kind of.
I don't think media. I don't think that media events happen. So there is that. And
we're not really in a monoculture anymore, so I can't imagine what
true.
we would be doing right now.
Yes, that is very true. So, there is the Oscars are happening tonight.
Again? This happens every year, dude. Every year.
Yeah.
We schedule it the day as soon as the show's over. We are planning for next year and booking the dates and getting all of the staff on board, plane ticket, catering. Yeah. And then once again we are in the same time slot as the Oscars.
Yeah. I don't know how this keeps happening.
Well, I guess given that they are going on, we should at least maybe get in. We live in the age of Cauchy, and some of the listeners, viewers might be wanting to put a little cheddar down, on some of these awards. So do you think we should weigh in with our predictions?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And that's perfect because you haven't noticed, of course, but I've been making sure all of the thousands of technical issues that are happening concurrently with us starting the stream are being resolved. And I've presumably resolved them, I believe, which means I probably have not. So those of you who predicted that the stream would start with some echoing of audio, you have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. And Devin, I will, of course, share some of that with you. So
excellent.
Yes, in terms of predictions for Oscars, I mean, where are you coming in, Devin? Are there any particular standouts? Because I certainly have some ideas, but maybe begin with you, because you've seen, I don't know, count on one hand, how many films have you seen this year?
I've seen a lot of films this year.
So
I don't
5?
know if most of them were actually upwards of 5.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a number of them were not nominated for Best Picture. I don't know how, I just watched All About Eve last year.
Oh, incredible.
Excellent film. Not a single nomination this year. I don't know what's going on,
It is something else. Yeah. Yeah.
It's as always, the discourse around these awards has been healthy. There hasn't been anything toxic or off-putting about it.
Yeah.
So even though I haven't seen all of the nominees, I do feel like I've got a general sense of where things are going. It feels to me, right, it's a two-picture race between Sinners and One Battle After Another, right, for Best Picture. And I do think Sinners has momentum, so to speak, right, in the discourse. The thing is, I don't know to what, if any extent, this online discourse about awards and movies has any effect on the 80-year-old people who actually vote for these things.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know that I see it as a competition between those two, in terms of the Academy, actual voting members of the Academy. So
You think Hamnet's gonna squeeze one out?
no, I'm not saying. I'm certainly not saying that. But listen, I want to speak to the elephant in the room that is F1, and
Yes.
I think it's been presented almost as a joke that it's there because it is a joke that it is there. But it's not an insignificant number of Academy members who are going to see the shortest title and give it a number one placement because it was it took them the shortest amount to read.
Yeah. Well, I think also you have to factor in that almost all of Frankenstein's votes are going to be kind of shepherded towards F1 because people are just going to see it and they're going to think that's short for Frankenstein 1 because this is the first in the franchise, right?
Right.
So
they're
that's
rebooting the
doubling
MonsterVerse.
votes right there.
Yeah.
If F1 wins, F1 is not going to win. If F1 wins, that would be so fucking funny. Like I almost hope because like everyone's been getting so mean to each other online in the one battle versus sinners debate, and if it's just like, well, the voters are like, this seems messy, we want to stay out of this. F1.
Yeah. What if the presenter says sinners, but actually F1 had won, and so like as they're going up there, they realize they made a mistake, and no, F1, come on up here, you're the winner, and all the sinners cast crew has to get back down off the stage to let Brad Pitt and whoever else was involved in that film get up there to accept the award.
Do you think Brad Pitt's wearing like an old-timey race helmet to the Oscars tonight?
I would hope he would go all in on this, but honestly, I think that he is probably
with all the advertisements on it.
I think he's probably like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just happy to be in the room. You know, I don't think it's gonna see a whole lot. You know, one that I think is flying under some people's radar, which is a key plot point of the film, is Avatar: Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
I think that this could maybe sweep the Oscars, and again, it's again typical human hubris that I think it's unexpected that it would do so, right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's going to be a tough path to the win for Avatar: Fire and Ash, given that it wasn't nominated. But
yeah.
what I would say,
Right?
to
It's
the
a write-in.
voters
It's a
is
strong write-in candidate.
it's a
is what I'm
write-in
trying to say.
campaign.
Yeah.
And if you are in line, stay in line. You know, get your vote in. They can't deny you. The rules that you have to vote for one of the nominees, like those rules. We live in the era of American imperial decline that demonstrates that no rules are real.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Nothing actually means anything. They're just sort of like descriptions of the way people have traditionally acted, right? So there's no reason why I think even just one Academy voter could seize the stage during the giving out of the final Oscar, physically take it away from the whoever's presenting and announce Avatar: Fire and Ash as the winner. You know, that is the kind of out-of-the-box thinking that James Cameron is trying to push us towards if we want to, like, defeat this ecological disaster system we live in.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think that we just need to bring maximum lethality to the Oscar nominations this year. None of this bullshit rules that, like, you can only vote for certain films in a certain order. I think we should simply just, unleash the full potential that is Avatar, Fire and Ash. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's not all. Even though it didn't get nominated, I think there's plenty of other opportunities for Avatar to pick up awards. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, special effects, of course.
Absolutely.
But I think a real dark horse candidate is Quaritch for best editing.
Oh,
you know,
I could see that. I could see that.
Because what is Avatar: Fire and Ash about? It's about Quaritch editing his relationship with Spider,
That's so
remaking it, if
true.
you will.
That's so true. And I mean, and
And that's what cinema's all about.
absolutely. And his editing has implications across all of Pandora. It draws in Awa in ways that were unexpected. And so I think Quaritch is really at the heart of all of this. He's really a Jar Jar Binks of the Avatar series of films. So we should really
so
we're
we're united on this. We're united on Quaritch for best editing.
Yeah.
You're predicting Avatar Fire and Ash will win Best Picture. I'm not prepared to go that far. I'm going to say One Battle After Another gets it done.
Wow. Okay.
I think that film is kind of just undeniable in like it's actually, while being very intelligent and interesting, it just is also kind of like such a like classic Hollywood entertainment in a lot of ways, like
classic 3.5 hours.
Like things like the chase sequence, right? That is like high modernist filmmaking. That is like it's in the tradition of the 1970s, new Hollywood pictures, right? And I think that kind of very classically cinematic power is something that the Oscar voters are going to be attracted to, despite the politics of the movie, right? Sinners, I think they would just think is too much of a horror movie to award, which I don't think is fair. But I do think that horror just kind of has a stink on it, if you will, for being fully recognized as high art.
How many of the voters do you think only watched the first half hour of Sinners and were like, okay, I get the gist of this?
Well, I'll tell you, I know for a fact they were definitely walking out during the credits. They were not getting the Buddy Guy cameo.
Oh yeah, Kingfish. Absolutely. It's Devin. It's a disaster happening at the headphones. The one thing that I always think of with One Battle After Another is, if you recall, Devin, when I went to go see it, the title on my ticket. Do you remember what it was?
I don't.
It's too long a title, apparently. One Battle After Another. Yeah. It was One Battle Big, and I think the problem with the modern leftist movement in this country is everyone is hoping for one battle big, when really it is one battle after another. And so we'll see if
that's really well said. Actually, that's very eloquent.
Yeah.
Let's just go through predictions for some more of these before too many awards get given out. So what about best directing? Who do you think's going to win that?
Ooh, why don't you go first as I bring that up?
I think it's probably going to be PTA. I think I'm more confident in PTA winning Best Directing than I am in One Battle winning Best Picture. I think that is like that. It is such a director's movie,
True. Yeah.
I don't think Safdie has a chance. I'd be really surprised if Zhao wins.
Yeah.
Coogler is a maybe, but I think they're going to give him the screenplay Oscar, and so they'll kind of feel like that was the way we rewarded him, however fair that is. I think that's kind of how their thinking works.
Right. I would go with PTA. I would definitely go with PTA. Are there other ones you want to dig into? Because it seems like there's some shit happening, really important things happening at the Oscars as we're speaking, Devin. I'm getting information that there are a lot of Burger King ads, so that's a really important development. That's an important one. And Dan, if you have
Tide,
I would love that's equal to the fact that there are so many Burger King ads. I'm hearing word about short film Tide. Before we get into the Oscar updates, Devin, any other predictions you want to start us off with before we begin?
Yeah, just to do the acting ones, right? Yeah. I'm pretty confident. I haven't been checking, but I'm pretty confident Jessie Buckley's going to win for Hamnet for actress. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say Benicio. Actually, I'm going to say Stellan Skarsgård wins for supporting, even though I think Benicio should win. But I think Benicio and Sean Penn might split votes.
Yes, yeah.
Very confident in Amy Madigan for Best Supporting Actress. I think we can lock that.
Yeah, we're really taking. I think we're going out on a limb there, but I think let's lock our vote in.
I
It's
would
locked
definitely
into
get on
Kalshi, so
Kalshi
let's
with that one.
Yeah.
And I would also get, this is kind of a little bit of a, a sweetener. I would do this in a parlay with the Amy Madigan pick. The Girl Who Cried Pearls for animated short.
I think I'm going to agree with you, Devin. I think
that seems just ironclad,
Yeah, because we do a lot of this, right? We have a podcast, and so we're pretty well versed on this stuff. And I think so we're able to make these sort of judgment calls that the casual listener may not have predicted. Yeah, so let's assume that.
Yeah, and then I think long shot on Kalshi, but. Both the singers and two people exchanging saliva for best live action short. There are no rules. No one says you can't pick two.
Oh, so why don't we could just even say let's just call it a tie. I think I would probably agree with you that I would predict a tie for that as well. Because I guess I can't decide on one or the other, so I would probably predict a tie. Why
is the Culkin boy, I can't remember which Culkin name he has.
Kieran?
Why is he in front of like a giant cop and these other images?
Well, that's part of the Paramount Plus tie.
Maybe that was Sean Penn. Maybe that was an image of Sean Penn, but I just was like, that's like a cop.
Oh, okay.
But in all seriousness, though, they're about to give out supporting actor, so we'll see if we were we were right.
Yeah.
Best actor, I honestly don't have a clue. I feel like Michael B. Jordan seems to have the momentum, but I would not be shocked if Chalamet, DiCaprio, or honestly even Mora won. I don't think Mora can win, but anyone but Ethan Hawke, it feels like, is at least in the running. Yeah. So,
yep, perfect. Let's get into our intro video. And Devin, I tried to be sort of balanced in how I edited this, so sort of an equal mixture of the films that I think deserve to really be taking home the awards this year. I think you'll agree it's an even keeled introduction. But everyone, we are going to be beginning really digging into our content here now that we've set up the evening. So with that, let us begin our Oscars spectacular. I don't remember what we call this, so we'll just have to get going with it. So with that, Devin, let's see how this Oscars goes.
All right.
That sounds like a fun weekend, but that's not what you really want.
What do I want?
What you've never had. An equal. You want to spread your fire across the world. I'll give you guns. I'll give you comms. RPGs. Well, that's strong magic. Command from a distance. Strike like lightning. Clans, as far as you can fly. They'll bow down before a burrow. Looks like. Rise and shine.
So what am I supposed to do? I can't run. I can't fight. That's right. Abel will provide. Yeah? So where was Abel? Where was Abel when our son...
Jake! I'm in this place where I have nothing. Not my people, not my farms. Even my father's boat is gone. All I have is my faith. This is the Great Mother's plan.
I have this family.
Call upon the warrior mother.
I'll kill you! I swear!
Wow.
So inspiring.
It's an exciting evening tonight, Devin. I think we have some updates from the Oscars show because you have Hulu, and
Thanks, Mia.
so you're able to watch it. I don't watch that sort of dribble. So any sort of updates on how things are going with the Oscars so far?
Well, so our picks for animated short film, live action short film, including the tie, and Amy Madigan for Weapons for supporting actress, all come true. So far,
Okay.
Doing very well. We
Yeah.
did miss on supporting actor. That went to Sean Penn. I'm kind of surprised.
Huh. I mean, I think the Academy voters would recognize that name, and
Yeah.
and they're also big ICE supporters. So I think that we could, he had it tucked away. So there's.
It's
Sean
a great,
Penn.
it's a great performance.
It's a very good. He's got the
I would
general
like to give it
walk.
to Benicio.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I very much, and Benicio. I don't know how many minutes he had in the film. It must have been like 5 minutes total. But
Yeah, but he's just so in charge of that.
that's
whole
what I'm
intersection.
saying.
It's
Like he owned every moment he was there. But Sean Penn did get
what it is?
gate
You
down.
know what that movie does with the sensei character?
What does it do, Devin?
I think it does a really good job of making you inhabit Leo's character's subjectivity during those scenes, because you don't identify with Sensei so much because he's too competent, right?
Right.
But like
right.
during those middle parts of the film, you feel so safe because you are sort of like under the protection of Sensei, and you're like,
Oh.
everything in this middle section's gonna work out because Del Toro is in charge, and then the beginning and the end sections when Sensei's not around, those are the times you feel like really like stressed. You feel like things aren't going well,
That's a good point, and that is when things really fall apart. Whereas Sensei clearly has a plan together, and we talked a bit about this. We had an episode on One Battle After Another, which we did a week or two after I gave birth to my child. I gave birth. My wife gave birth to my child, but after my child was born, and I was very tired during that show. So I can remember half of what I said, but I think part of it is One Battle After Another. It's this idea that everyone has a part to play in sort of combating the fascist tilt at the rotted heart of our country. And that's sort of the message that I took away. But other people took away, everyone should just be Sensei. And I don't think that's the message of the film.
No, I don't think at all, right?
Yeah. And Academy voters
because
agree.
You can't, because Sensei has limits, right? There's only so much he can do.
Yeah.
Right. But the continual passing of the baton without actually seeing a finish line in sight, I think the film really like captures that. But I mean,
well, and who ends up shooting the fascist in the chest? It's the daughter. It's not Sensei at the end of the day. And so everyone has a different part to play.
Which, speaking of, maybe we can talk a little bit about just, if you don't mind, at the top, just giving out my awards for the year while we're waiting for the Oscars to catch up with us.
That's really, it's rude of them to be taking so long, but I agree with this approach, Devin. So where are you sort of feeling in terms of the major awards?
So here's, I just do them for, the acting categories and film and director. But
that's
I
all that
not
matters.
Fidelitous
I think
to
the
their
Oscars,
nominees, to be
should
fair.
also only have those awards and then cut it. It should be a 30-minute show. Nothing else Yeah, they should immediately, now that they've introduced the casting award, just get rid of it next year. Let's go back. We should just have actors and best picture. What do you think, Devin, for the different nominees? Where are you landing?
I'll do my acting ones first.
Okay.
Right? So, supporting actress, I have Chase Infinity from One Battle After Another.
Okay.
If you want to tell me that's not a supporting performance, fine. But
yeah,
I'm giving it to her. I love that performance. I think the different types of movies she essentially has to be in at different parts of the film.
Yeah.
You know, I was just really, really impressed.
Right. Yes. What about, but it's sort of in terms of supporting actress, and again, I'm disregarding who was actually nominated, but Sigourney Weaver in Avatar Fire and Ash, if you recall, had to play a teenage Na'vi, and and did a really good,
not my
but
that's
did a
not
really
my pick for
no,
but that's not my pick for supporting actress from Avatar, because my second, if you were going to tell me Chase Infinity was lead and I couldn't do it, my pick is Una Chaplin.
Oh, of course, the sexy
in Avatar Fire
the sexy
and Ash,
Na'vi. Yeah.
The main innovation that, because Avatar is where we go for technical innovation, and the main one was this dark, horny side being added to Na'vi culture,
and it is
drugs as well.
It's such an evolution of that trope. From if we can think back to 2009, when I believe some of our viewers were alive. That like the Natari was like the figure that like, hey, look at this sexy CGI blue lady, and now we've evolved to this like, hey, look at this evil sexy CGI blue lady who will like hurt you, but our culture demands that as sort of the cornerstone of places like weird places for people to for the male gaze to drift. So it's it really reflects where our culture has developed. And you know what? She played it perfectly. And let's be clear, she filmed this, I'm going to assume, in 2003. And she knew she played it in such a way that when it came out this past year, it fit perfectly for where the audience was at. So watch her Kalshi predictions, because she might know something that we don't.
All right. So moving on. For actress, I have, again, someone that was snubbed by the Academy, Amanda Seyfried in The Testament of Anne Lee. Did you see this one?
I did not.
Oh, it's fantastic. So it's the team that did The Brutalist, but so Brady Corbet is co-writing the screenplay. Okay. And then his wife, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but Mona Fastvold, who's
Close
a Norwegian
enough.
director. Yeah. She's the director, and then they co-write the screenplay, which it was kind of reverse for The Brutalist. It's a like musical about like the Shakers, like the offshoot of the Quakers, and just a stunning film, I thought, and pulled off some really, really impressive tone management, right? And Seyfried is she's fantastic in it. She just really has like the juice in it. It's like you feel like you're watching like a star,
Okay. Zoe Saldana, probably the best performance of hers that we've seen since she won for that extremely transphobic film. You know that one that everyone loves, Amelia Perez.
Could we just here's what I'm saying. Can we just get her Oscar?
Yeah.
And can we just change it to being for like just the entire Avatar trilogy?
I think she would be in support of that, and I think that the voting community would be in support of that as well. So let's
in all seriousness, though, we are missing a movie that got nominated that was as bad as Amelia Perez. That for like the last year really was adding some juice. to the discussion, and there isn't like it doesn't seem like there's the same kind of movie where we can truly be like, this is a total fucking disaster, you know?
Yeah, but yet seems to be winning. Like every time, you're just like, oh god, are they gonna win this? Oh no.
One Battle just won another one.
Wow.
Adapted screenplay, which was expected. It also won the inaugural casting award. So looking
okay.
real good for. I'm gonna be shocked if One Battle doesn't end up winning Best Picture at this point.
Now Devin has Paul Thomas Anderson. He won the last time he won Best Picture. Was that There Will Be Blood or?
There Will Be Blood did not win Best Picture. PTA
Famously.
has not won a directing Oscar.
Oh, he hasn't won directing even.
No. I think he
Probably because he's a
has
pretty
another,
mid director, right? Would you say so, Devin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Country for Old Men wins in the There Will Be Blood year. That was a really
You're
stacked
right.
year.
Yeah, it
like,
was.
It probably wins if it comes out like a year later.
And that's, I've often said, Devin, the PTA sort of rides on the coattails of the writers for his films, and so I think that maybe this will be the year for him. But we'll see. He didn't cast Zoe Saldana, but somehow they still won that award. Any other predictions? We've got to. What about the men? What about the men in the room, Devin?
The men in the room. We're talking about it. The manosphere, if you will.
Yeah.
For supporting, I've got Ralph Fiennes in 28 Years Later. Loved this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the 28 Days stuff, but he is just, I think, really, really excellent, and should have probably won for Conclave. If we're doing the dumb career thing.
Sure.
And it's a shame to me that 28 Years Later to me is the better performance, but because it's in what is it's not in the kind of film that generally is going to
now you described it as the 28 days verse, but that seems like the days, weeks, years, that seems. Would you call it the 28 verse? What
the 28 verse? I guess, yeah. I like the 28 films.
Should they make 28 films and related properties for that universe to sort of complete it? And follow-up question, Devin.
Yeah.
What do you think the 28th feature of that universe will be?
It should be called 28 Films Later.
That's fantastic, and I think it's going to have a Peaky Blinders tie-in. So,
yeah.
What about any? Let's round it up, Devin.
And then for lead actor,
yeah.
This is tough for me. I kind of want to just give it to Leo. I love the Leo performance, but if I'm trying to just sort of give my awards out in a way that lets me award more movies, I want to give Wagner Mora in The Secret Agent, that one. Really interesting performance. Technically plays various characters and various personae.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Best director I'm going to give to PTA, no fucking around.
Sure, okay.
But then my film of the year, and One Battle might be my number 2 for the year, but my film of the year was not nominated. I wasn't expecting it to be nominated, but it is the Chinese film Resurrection.
Ah, okay.
That is directed by, I believe, Bi Gan, who also did Long Day's Journey into Night. And I loved this movie.
Resurrection?
A lot. Yep, Resurrection. It is very, very avant-garde. It's very experimental. It would be completely illegible to the Academy, so I'm not. And it's also Chinese, and I'm sure they don't want to nominate a Chinese film. But it truly felt, when I was watching it, like I was in another world. Not in the way that IP tries to put me into a universe, that has rules and deep lore I have to know. I just truly felt like I was in a world where just cause and effect worked in a totally different way than I understood, right? Anything could happen at any point in the movie, and I was constantly surprised. And every time I thought I was figuring out okay, this is the sort of meta-textual, meta-fictional gambit the film is doing, it would find a new way to surprise me. It's a hard film to summarize, but if you have any patience for slow, very formally inventive cinema, like it gets my strongest possible recommendation.
All right. So if you're looking for an extremely inaccessible film from what you've described, Devin, this is the one. This is the one that you believe should have won Best Picture. So,
I mean, it would be really cool to live in the world where Resurrection could win Best Picture. Like, that would probably mean that things were a lot better in general, right? I'd be like quartering some strapping Chinese lieutenants in my house, very willingly.
Devin, you wait, because in a year or two, we may just see, does Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ Part 2, The Resurrection, win Best Picture? We may yet see that is the case in the near future within the Academy. So, wow, here we are. Any other updates, Devin, before we are about to be handing out our first award of the evening for the Tallies. And so let's, anything else that we need to know before we do that, Devin?
It's not looking like anything much has come in.
Just nothing. It's been another, just nothing's happening. This
Frankenstein won both makeup and costume. I haven't seen Frankenstein, but makes sense.
Yes.
The one battle casting is interesting. I actually thought Sinners was going to win that. Because of, all the there's such a world built from all the minor characters in that.
Well, let's make sure to talk about that this evening before because I think we never talked about Sinners on the pod.
No. And we did talk about One Battle a lot, so we should do some Sinners talk. Maybe next time it wins a award. I'm assuming it won.
Fingers crossed.
Original screenplay. So Coogler gets his screenplay Oscar.
Okay.
We'll see if they're willing to give him a director Oscar. We'll find out.
Okay. Well, Devin, more important than the Oscars, it is now time to hand out the first award for our show of the evening. And so.
Yes. And it's not a Your Tall Oscar special without handing out the Bud Dwyer Lifetime Achievement Standee, right? The most prestigious award that we give out. And we've got some really exciting nominees this year.
Evan, I'm excited to see where things land. But without further ado, our nominees for the 2026 Bud Dwyer.
Why do I love these wide open spaces? They remind me of why our forefathers came here. Not just for its beauty, but for the freedom only America provides. I'm Christy Nome. From the cowboys who tamed the West, to the titans who built our cities, to the dreamers who chased the impossible, America has always rewarded vision and grit.
Sam Altman, who definitely didn't kill anyone.
We see a future where intelligence is a utility like electricity or water, and people buy it from us on a meter and use it for whatever they want to use it for.
Double D. 3 consecutive D's, actually. And then Nick Shirley, folks.
Who do you think are the 3 most benevolent billionaires?
What do you mean by the word benevolent?
Just well-intentioned, positive billionaires who you think are creating, net positive societal progress.
Trump, our president. I think he's a good one. I think Elon Musk. I think what he's doing is creating innovation. He provides lots of jobs to people. I think that's a good one. And then the third one, I'd have to think about that.
We've got so many phenomenal nominees, Devin, for this award. I wish we had a bit built in where we as the co-presenters could have had a bit ready for, I wish all these people could win the Bud Dwyer Lifetime Achievement
Definitely.
Award. I think,
Yeah. We wish we could give out honestly way more than even we nominate. We wish we could just be handing these out,
Yeah.
by the dozen.
Yeah.
But we do have to pick a winner.
Yes.
Third. Well, fourth overall, yeah. But third consecutive Bud Dwyer.
So this is a really
Man.
this is I mean it's you gotta feel for Bud in this moment, right, Devin? It's pretty exciting.
There's two stories to be told here, right? One is the story of the also rans, the losers, right?
Yeah.
Who couldn't pull out this win.
Yeah.
And to them, I would just say there is a very easy way
Yeah.
to win this award, right? And if you want to know how to win this award, you learn from the best. You win it the way that Bud Dwyer won it and has won 3 years in a row, right? So what I would say is to Sam Altman and Kristi Noem and Nick Shirley, if they're feeling sore about this and they want to win next year, a path is available, right?
Absolutely.
But I don't want to distract from Bud's big night. I don't want to make this about the losers. This is about the winners.
Yep.
And Bud is now he's running out of shelf space for these things. And
it's true.
He never misses.
He never misses. Ain't that the truth? He pulls that win right out of that envelope every year. And we now, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, are about to go into a really important segment of the evening. We are going to turn it over to
Oscardamus. This is backed by popular demand. Mike just completely knocked it out of the park. So before we get started, Mike, what of these movies have you seen of the Best Picture noms? Have you seen any of them?
Do you even know what
I have not seen any of them, but unfortunately for this show, I am casually aware of several of them.
Ooh, that'll be exciting. Don't tell us which.
We're excited to find out.
Yeah, this will be very exciting. So those who are not familiar with this segment from last year, we will provide Mike first with the name of the Best Picture nominee. He will then guess what the plot of the film is. We will then reveal the picture of the film to see if he wants to change or update his prediction of what the plot is.
The picture of the film?
Yeah, I've got a picture of the poster. The picture, a picture. We got one.
It's just a photograph
of the picture of the picture.
One random slide from the film.
Guess what film this is.
Yeah.
Guess what Oscar this film is going to win.
Yeah, art films on slides.
Oh man, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I need to interrupt briefly.
Oh wow.
Someone they're discussing in the chat major oversight in the Bud Dwyer Lifetime Achievement Award nominees.
Right.
Charlie Kirk.
Well, so fair.
I feel like we're giving mixed messages if we're telling people follow Bud Dwyer's example, win the award, and then we're leaving Charlie Kirk.
I think
dry.
there's a distinct difference between Bud Dwyer's achievement and Charlie Kirk's achievement.
There's one very, very important difference.
I don't want to speak for the Academy. And we all know there are across both Academy voting members for these awards a diversity of opinion. But if I had to assume, I would think that the Academy members who have watched all the footage from all the nominees, as well as the others, such as the unnominated Charlie Kirk, that they would have considered the category, what would actually make you win this award. Not just that you had an amazing performance, but it's the award. It's specific. It's a specific award. So, but I don't want to speak for the want to speak for the voting members. We are Budweiser. We carry the flame. But Mike, we're gonna start things off here with a film that's probably one of the ones that you've seen. I'm sure. And
I haven't seen any of them.
This is surely. Hey, Mike. There's this film. It's called.
Oh God,
Mike, what do you think?
Scarlet Begonia?
Yeah, what do you think that's all about?
Is it some kind of flower?
Okay. Are you locked in? Do you want to add anything else to that, or do you think it's a movie about a flower?
Of course I'm going to add to that. Give me a second.
Okay. Take a moment.
Begonia.
Yeah.
It's some kind of period art piece set in the 16th century.
Is there any reason why you're
There's
saying
really
that,
no redeeming quality to it.
Yeah. Oh.
Other than the setting. It's a period piece. Everyone's going to take it like way seriously. Not that I hate period pieces, but I just feel like my gut feeling, if this is what it is, then it's not worthwhile. if I'm right.
16th century.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's giving a little
I can't see
16th
it.
century, I gotta be honest.
Is it on your stream?
Yeah.
Is this the okay. Can you scroll down? So I can see the whole thing. I mean, I'm not looking at what you think I'm seeing.
Ethan, Ethan,
I'm looking at all your
that
slides.
Your window that only he can see, just scroll it down because he doesn't have Twitch open. You have the slides up there, just scroll down a little so he can see the full image. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to us. But what do you think, Mike?
Okay, well, it's not probably not the time period I'm thinking of. What is this? Blood and Honey? Sounds Middle Eastern.
Okay, so now we've moved. We think we're in the Middle East.
There's obviously a conflict involved. This person is probably dying. But if it's like if they're fishing for Oscars, then someone's gotta die.
It actually would be funny to go back and figure out what percentage of Best Picture winners does at least one person die in the film. I think it's
I'm not
going
to make any effort to think about that or find out the truth of that. So everyone else who is troubled by my just spouting off whatever's on the top of my head, you'll have to look that up yourselves.
All right. Well, so Begonia is actually about two young men who kidnap a powerful CEO suspecting that she is secretly an alien who wants to destroy Earth.
Huh.
So not exactly 16th century, but definitely conflict, as you pointed out. There's definitely conflict.
I haven't heard anything that means it couldn't be 16th century.
It's very peasant mindset. It is very, it is.
Yeah. Well, what do we have? What do we have up next?
All right. Next up, Mike, we have the film F1.
Another F1 movie, huh? What's this one
It's
about?
got to be a real
Does
head
this one
scratcher. What do you
also
think?
have Brad Pitt in it?
It does in fact have Brad Pitt in it.
It does indeed have Brad Pitt in it. Did you accidentally watch one of the Best Picture nominees?
I didn't watch this one.
Okay, what do you think it's about? What do you think F1 is about?
Wow. Just going round and round. It's about life. And
Right,
there are
let's show 'em the
races, and you
poster.
think you just need to win the big race, but really, it's all one race.
Wow.
And
The
you'll
human
get
race.
there.
You think it's about
You'll get to the
racing?
finish line eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
You're guessing it's about racing?
Yeah. That would be my guess.
All right, let's add in the picture here. Here is
Well,
The
I did
poster.
watch what was that other movie with the German actor in it? He played the
Rush.
Rush. I did see that.
Yeah, Rush is
I
good.
was trying to remember which movies I had even watched this year. It it didn't come out this. I don't know when it came out, so could be wrong. But there's probably a catastrophic crash somewhere. What's the name of this character he's playing?
His name appears to be Sonny Hayes.
Never heard of him. Not an F1 guy. But I guess he's
Well, I don't think he's
worth having
real.
a movie made about him. So,
All right. Well,
All
I
right.
think I think Mike, I haven't seen this one, but it is indeed about racing, and there is it doing a quick Control F. There appear to be a number of crashes, so I think you're gonna get this one.
sure. Maybe, I don't know. I'm probably not going to watch it, but
what do you think this could possibly be about, Mike?
is this a faithful retelling of the Mary Shelley story, or is it like Frankenstein in the modern day with teenagers in middle school?
Well, I'm gonna need. I'm getting.
Those
that's
are
kind of your
options.
call,
Yeah,
right?
you need to make the decision. This is sort of the deal: is you need to think about which one you think it is. So
I think it's going to be just like a regular old retelling of the same
Just
story.
a regular old Frankenstein. All right.
Just a classic Frankenstein story. Yeah. Nah, it looks like your classic Frankenstein. I mean, is one of these supposed to be the monster? And if that's true, the monster is different than how I've always ever seen it, which is a choice. Probably a good choice to do something different. Otherwise,
yeah. Were you
I don't
expecting
know.
like the nuts out of the neck?
Sure.
You know?
Well, maybe not the nuts specifically.
Okay.
But like,
Flathead,
a big
you know.
boxy, behemoth.
Do you think the Frankenstein is too sexy? Is that an issue that you would call out?
It's
Would you?
it's dangerous to be just throwing these stories out there.
Yeah.
People are going to get too horny and they're not going to like function in society anymore.
All right.
That's a real problem. Yeah. Devin.
I think we're gonna give this one to you too, Mike.
Yeah.
Faithful's a big question, right? We would have to investigate further. But this is at least being described.
Well, I never
by
read
Del
it, so I
Toro
wouldn't know.
As
If
a
it's-
faithful adaptation, a dream project of his to do a faithful adaptation of the novel. right?
Okay.
Moving away from the aesthetics we associate with the Universal monsters, Frankenstein, right? So
Then I
there
assume
you
it's
go.
at least
Yeah.
all right.
Now, for our international
Total.
listeners out there, when you do hear Devin say monsters, I want to clarify that this is a Eastern Pennsylvania dialect. He is trying to say
It's not
monsters.
even. It's just a weird thing I can't say right.
He's trying to say monsters, but he does say monsters, and it's been an ongoing point of confusion for myself every time we have had.
Well, in this case, I really am
film.
referring to, the TV family of the monsters. Of course, the patriarch is the classic Frankenstein.
That is a fair point. That's a very fair point.
All right.
But let's move
keep
us on
moving.
because we have, I think, 30 nominees for Best Picture, Mike. So let's get on to the next one, which
Too many.
is...
They need to go back to 5.
Hamnet. You did not.
Hamnet.
This is another movie that I'm casually familiar with in that I saw a preview for it months ago. And my first thought was, okay, some kind of Shakespearean thing. I wasn't interested. My first thought was like, why Hamnet? Like, is this making fun of how nobody could spell back in those days? So there were no standard spelling, so you just put whatever you want, and it was like, they'll figure it out. And no, apparently Hamnet was the name of his son, and maybe this was an alternate spelling of Hamlet. None of that could be true. So,
well, you've listed a series of facts that you have heard. What do you think the plot of the film is, though?
Yeah. Why don't we give him the? Let's give him the poster.
We'll give you the poster, and then
someone
you can decide.
overcomes, and he's like, "I must be an actor." Maybe something about growing up in his father's shadow. We got to throw a love story in there, so I guess nothing too heavy. I just don't care.
Nothing heavy.
I just don't care. Like, what could you possibly tell me? Like, another love story?
Yeah. So. Yeah.
But I love history movies. But
Okay. So we've got it. So Hamnet is about the guess is that Hamnet is about Shakespeare's son growing up in Shakespeare's shadow and trying to become an actor. And it kind of has the rhythm of like the Bob Dylan biopic, like nobody believes in him. His acting is so raw and modern and abrasive, right?
And so not his father's.
And everyone's like, why don't you act more like William? He was, William Shakespeare, the actor. I mean, he obviously acted, but,
sure,
maybe not the main thing we associate
like
him with.
Quentin Tarantino acts. So what do we, how would you say, Devin? What were you,
I think we're pretty far off here. While we're getting the Shakespeare right. This is about the life of Shakespeare and his wife after the death of their 11-year-old son, who was named Hamnet. So we're getting into some pretty heavy stuff.
Is it more? I was going to ask Mike, does this make you more or less interested in seeing this film?
I'd be more interested in seeing it. I'm still not going to go out of my way to do it.
But if you just walk into a room and Hamnet is playing,
no.
If you're on a flight and that's like the first option, you might click it. Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to hear some review that it is somehow, in some way, extremely historically accurate for it to seal the deal.
Yep.
But otherwise, no, I'm not gonna.
Okay. Well, that brings
Onward.
that brings us to Marty.
Marty Supreme. No, I've not heard anything about this.
Oh, fantastic!
I don't know what the cover looks like.
I want to know what you think the film.
But I don't need to know what the cover looks like because this is obviously about, Marty. It's the year 1977, and he's trying to save up money for college, and he gets a job at McDonald's, and he struggles, but eventually he finds himself, and he finds a new way at his new job. And he reinvigorates, the company. They're starting to make business again, and he improves himself along the way, finds love. Faces confronts his nemesis, whoever that is, probably childhood bully. Someone's always putting him down.
What I'm hearing is it's kind of like Hamnet. You know, it's like this kind of coming of age, like growing up and making it big way, but more about business. As opposed
no,
to
not about
acting.
Business. No.
Yeah, that's where you get it wrong, Devin. It's not about business. Yeah, it's about living, Devin. Get it right.
It's about how being human, not just a cold, dead-eyed lizard. That's what's important.
When you look at that poster.
Can you share it though?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm doing our stream and then I need to update your picture. So there's the picture. Soak it in.
Fuck is this? A24?
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's the production company.
Wow, they're doing a great job on getting their name out there.
A24, what the fuck is that?
I have no fucking clue. I changed the time period, but he's obviously gonna overcome some challenge, or maybe not.
What are you changing the decade to?
I didn't say.
Oh.
Let's say like early 20th century, like
1908 kind of.
Let's say like 1890 to like 1910-ish. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real specific there.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be. You want me to give you the days? These dates.
So this movie takes place in the 1950s, and it is about a professional ping pong player who's kind of like also like a bit of a hustler and trying to make it in the table tennis world despite his disadvantageous upbringing and his Jewishness, I think, is a part of it as well, right? And I think you kind of had the spirit in a way. I think tonally much closer than what you were with Hamnet, because you at least were kind of getting the vibe a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Do you plan on seeing Marty Supreme, Mike?
No.
All right. So moving on to our next one, we've got One Battle.
One battle after another. This has got to be about someone. No, I'm not familiar with this in any way. This has got to be about someone just trying to deal with life. And just getting put through the ringer again and again.
Those are the battles, I'm assuming.
My first thought was like maybe something about a mother.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not getting a lot on this one.
Okay.
So it's the story of a mother.
Yep. Shall I?
Yeah. Wasn't there a movie last year that was almost the same thing? Except it wasn't, an American movie, or made by, or it had Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Was Leonardo
okay, because I
DiCaprio
thought we had
in the
about a woman who was.
Are you thinking of Killers of the Flower Moon?
I don't know. I don't remember.
That was, I guess, Leo's. Yeah, that was.
Was
Leo's
that one of them
previous
from last
film.
year?
Yeah. Was that last year? Or that was
I think it was last year.
It was one of the ones that you asked me about
maybe
last
2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
So we do have Leo though again.
All right, I'm not getting mother vibes from this person.
Big news, I think. I think big news coming in. It's looking like we have got an Oscar to Avatar: Fire and Ash.
That
Best
is
visual effects.
That is, I gotta.
Okay. That looks nice.
That's exciting.
Hell yeah. One of, I'm
Wow.
sure, many more to come.
Yeah,
We're
this is the
expecting a
start.
pretty clean sweep for Fire and Ash tonight.
Yeah, the streak is beginning. The streak has begun. That is so exciting. We're so excited for Avatar. What I don't know, what did they? I want to know what they won. But Mike, so you said you're seeing less mother vibes here. Anything you would change about your initial prediction?
No, she's more or less. She's got a gun, so it's not like a slice of life movie, but it's
Yeah.
she's dealing with one thing after another. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, I think we got to give him credit. One Battle After Another is largely about a mother,
Yep.
and the specter, particularly of a mother who is not there, right?
Yeah.
Kind of goes across the film. But this
Is it
is a
her own
movie
mother who wasn't
essentially
there?
about radical politics and resistance and a over the hill old like 60s era radical trying to be a single dad to his daughter, and in a world that is sliding headfirst into fascism, or frankly is already there.
That sounds too topical. I don't even want to.
And yet it was written and filmed like a year and a half ago. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think we got to give Mike some credit for that. Mike, we want to move us on to the secret.
It is about a British spy who is working to stop a plot by the Soviets, which would release this chemical into the water supply of the United States. And when people like drink this or shower in it, it means that they can't come up with movie titles that tell me anything about the movie. So, another secret agent movie. Could you do any better than that?
Yeah.
Like, give me something.
Well, let's give you the post.
It's no, it's okay, what is he? This is some kind of I keep getting reminded of what's that movie where they rescue the hostages in Iran?
Argo. So you're thinking this is kind of an Argo style sort of
Middle
like
Eastern espionage
elevated
kind of deal,
espionage,
but also set in the 50s, 60s, whatever.
So
I got nothing.
This
got nothing
is
else.
not really about a secret agent. It's they're having a little fun with you with the title, so to speak.
Do people think he's a secret agent and he's trying to trying to prove he's not?
It's about a guy who's essentially under witness protection, right? Who's kind of living a false life to try to avoid the reprisals of the Brazilian military dictatorship, right? So. That the title is kind of indexing, the way that he kind of gets put into this like secret agent-esque position, right? But not one that follows those genre conventions, right? It's kind of a quite an interesting film. What I need to see again, because when I saw this in theaters, this guy would just not stop talking. Like he wasn't even turning towards the person he was with to whisper things or even say them. He was just looking at the screen and like going like, what's he doing? Why is he doing that? What's going on? The entire time. And it really took me out of it. So I need to.
You normally like to be the guy doing that in the film. So I think that probably was upsetting for you, Devin. So hopefully you get to see it a second time. We're coming up to our final films. There are only, I think, 12 more Best Picture nominees, Mike. So let's see how you do with this one. What do you?
This is
what do you
about
think? Yeah.
I don't know, a kid lost everything except some treasured family heirloom. But then he loses that too, and then has to rediscover, that it was all in here the whole time anyway. So
Man, that is a devastating pitch, Mike. Can you imagine being like in a producer's meeting where it's like, and then he loses the only thing
I'm
he
not here to
has,
pitch
he
the movies,
loses
man.
that too. Yeah. I'm just
It's
saying,
their
that
job
is
to
some
sell these
dark
to me.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's give you the picture, see if that does anything for you. So,
I like how we're calling movie posters pictures. I really like the picture for sentimental value.
No, she's gonna lose her father or something. But then it also feels weird to describe like a family member as having sentimental value, like they're an object. But I don't know. Is that Skarsgård?
It is Skarsgård. Yeah.
I'd watch it for Skarsgård.
So this is about essentially it is a film about a family, right?
Yeah.
And the father, played by Skarsgård, is a director, and the one daughter is an actress, right? And the direct meaning of sentimental value is pointing towards the family house, right? That's kind of the literal version of it, right? This property that, what are they going to do with it, right? Are they going to sell it or keep it? And then also, of course, figurative references. A pretty good movie, I thought. It is very bourgeois, fair to say, which is not necessarily a bad thing in terms of, if you accept it for what it is.
Yeah.
I do feel like it has been not aging well with me. Like, I quite liked it on the day. I don't really think it has like staying power for me.
A film for this past year is not aging well with you. Damn. Now,
is it one of those movies that's only good once?
Yeah, maybe you enjoyed it on the day and then it loses it every day after.
Yeah.
We've got our last two films. Mike, you are obscenely out of focus. I want to call that out.
It's like
I just want everyone to know. There we go. That's fixed. You somehow fixed it by slightly moving.
He was going into witness protection with that one.
He was like, I am losing focus, y'all. That's fine, though, because we've got some really strong contenders to...
I have heard of this. I know what this is about. I've not seen it.
You've heard what it's about.
It is about African Americans down the bayou, and it's about vampires.
Okay,
Pretty
let's
good.
give you the.
No, I mean that's what it is. I've heard this. I know what it's about. I don't know the plot. People seem to like it, so I wouldn't write it off.
We are at a slight disadvantage in that I saw this film. I was like, Mike, you should see Sinners. It was I thought it was a good film. You should see it. So I may have also been a part of this of explaining.
It was you. It was all you. If you hadn't told me any of that,
insider
I
trading.
might not have heard, but I also may also.
Yeah, but I'd already staked about $100K on Mike B guessing what Sinners was about on Kalshi. So let's see, Devin, how would you say Mike did on this one?
Totally fun. Vampire movie. They set up a venue. It gets invaded by the vampires.
It's not the bayou.
It has musical elements.
It's not the bayou. It's the Mississippi Delta. The bayou would be
I'm
like
from
Louisiana.
the north, so
yeah, but
it's
you've got
all
like
the bayou.
Belushi. You've got like Belushi, Biloxi, like that. Biloxi, like going down towards Louisiana, is more the bayou. This is the Delta. But I think it's I think that's a minor divergence.
All right, we got one more.
Okay. This is it, Mike.
Mean, they're not that far apart, but let's continue.
It's actually not.
They're fucking doing this with these movie titles again. Train Dreams.
I know you have these many nights of the week, but how would you describe the film actually
Trains
lays out?
This has to be about the shit you dream about while you're waiting for your train to get to its destination.
Okay.
But when Mike B shows up to the Amtrak station, he is like, okay, straight to sleep. I've got to get and deep REM sleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's either that, or if you're just like going to work or something, and you're not, then if we're talking about shorter train rides, then or not that at least, then it'd have to be. I don't know. Is there like an engineer who's going to design a better train? That seems dumb.
Well, let's see, Mike. Let's give you the poster. See if you would add anything extra to what you have described.
Ooh, is this a building the railroad kind of thing? I don't know. It's out west. They're not giving me a whole lot.
It's about dreaming and waiting for the train to come, and then also possibly building the railroad.
Is it about
railroad?
Like waiting for the right train, but the right train never comes? You just have to take like the good enough train.
Well, ain't that a slice?
The good
of life.
enough train.
Yeah,
that was the original title, I think.
Devin,
the good enough train.
I'll be real.
See, that would have been a better title. I would have watched.
Good enough train. The good enough train. Yeah.
So I'll be real with you. I do not know what the fuck Train Dreams is about. This is the Netflix one. I've actually heard some people think it's pretty good. So what I'm reading on IMDb is it is the moving portrait of Robert Granier, a logger and railroad worker.
Hey.
Who leads a life of unexpected depth and beauty in the rapidly changing America of the early 20th century.
Why is it unexpected? Why do you think the railroad workers have an unexpected depth of beauty? Why that seems like a very biased description.
Well, I'm assuming that the film opens with less like 15 minutes of like people in a coffee shop talking about like, oh, Robert Granier, that guy, he fucking sucks. He's a dumbass. There's nothing going on upstairs, so that we understand that it's supposed to be kind of surprising that
I see.
Isn't just an automaton.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to make my own decisions. Just tell me how I'm supposed to feel about this.
So let's do you want to see any of these films?
No.
Okay. All right. That's so Mike has given
I maybe watch Sinners. I'll probably put Sinners.
Yeah,
on the list.
Sinners is solid. I would recommend go watch that. Devin, how would you say Mike did on our Oscar-damus prediction?
I'm giving him a 3.5. Now that is out of 10, not out of 5. But
that's what you need.
Here's the thing, if you can kind of if you have to give that to your parents, it's real easy to just take that 3 and just sort of make it into an 8. So that would be my recommendation to you.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Honest
he knows what he's about. Mike, we would like to thank you for coming in to be the voice of the people for the second year in a row of trying to guess what the fuck these Best Picture film nominations are all about.
I just want to make it clear to people who maybe don't understand, but the voice of the people is not just a bit for this show. That's like a name I was given.
Thank you for guessing the plots of all these films, Mike.
Is that it? Who's gonna win?
We're gonna find out.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
All right. Here we go. We're coming into the last 40 minutes. But, yeah.
But I'm gonna put a dark horse pick in, for if you want to make your Cauchy bets for Best Picture, the Mike B director's cut of Hamnet.
Oh,
in
hell
which
yeah.
Hamnet doesn't die but goes on to become like a mediocre actor. I think
Hell
that would
yeah.
really resonate with the voters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Mike, thank you so much. We'll see you next year for our next guessing of the plot.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I'll see you not at the movies, Mike.
See you not at the movies.
No, you won't catch me at the movies.
All right.
All right.
Devin, we've got an exciting something exciting to share with our viewers.
Yes,
we
I know
get
what the
asked
viewers
about
are-
this all the time.
Yes. I know that everyone that's watching right now is thinking, how in the world do they get this done? Like the level of preparation, all of the technical wizardry that's going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
And we wanted to kind of open that up to the viewers a little bit, right? Because as Ethan knows, the second we end this live stream tonight, we start working for next year.
Absolutely.
So
I've
there's
already
like
started.
a lot of stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this that you guys might not all be aware of. So we're really pleased that we've got a little bit of a behind the scenes making of sneak peek for you.
And you can see some of the unexpected things that happen behind the scenes of All right. Here we are behind the scenes preparing for
Where the
our
magic
Oscars
happens.
special. It's weeks to go, Devin. We like to prepare way ahead of time.
Yeah, well, we just got out of our January 6th, kind of a memorial support meeting.
Yeah.
And now we're just back at the grindstone as we have been for the last several months, grinding the film, putting the work in, making the show. It's a 365-day job, really.
Yeah, and there is a lot of grinding involved. What would you say that you've been up to, Devin, in preparing?
I mean, the most important thing for me is I would never do this show without having seen all of the films that have been nominated for any award. And really, like at any level, including the Boston Critics Awards, MTV Choice Awards. I want to have the whole year in cinema. So I've got multiple screens going right now. I've got Hamnet Picture in Picture with F1. And then I've got every single nominated short film on this screen simultaneously. And I'm just taking it all in, taking notes, making sure that we're bringing the predictions, the analysis. We're getting on the Cauchy markets, right? Just to kind of subsidize things on the back end.
Absolutely.
What about you, Ethan?
Well, I'm taking the Oscars voter approach. I haven't seen any of the films, but I don't intend to. And something has come up, though, that's taken up all my time, which is...
Oh, really?
Listeners may remember that we are, of course, exclusively available on the neilyoungarchives.com. That is where you listen. I'm sure that's where folks have come to, this stream tonight. We're the only product, in fact, on the neilyoungarchives.com after Neil Young decided that he would scurry back to Spotify rather than be associated with us. So if you've listened to these episodes, I do want to be clear. If you've listened on any other platform than the neilyoungarchives.com, please immediately report this to your tall pod at neilyoungarchives.com because that is theft.
Yeah, but Ethan, I was under the impression that contract had lapsed.
It's an ironclad contract.
Oh, well, I've got some emails coming in from our legal department, Ethan, and I think I have some bad news.
Oh, is that coming into legal at neilyoungarchives.com?
Yeah, well, your tall pod legal at neilyoungarchives.com.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it. Okay, what could that possibly be?
Well, our lawyers are telling me they just saw on the IGN news ticker, which we of course have in the office at all times.
Yep.
Paramount Skydance has just acquired neilyoungarchives.com. So I do believe that means...
No. That can't be.
I think we have been acquired by Paramount, legally speaking.
This does answer some questions I had about the logo for our live show that had been sent to me.
And wait, sorry, are you hearing that ringing, Ethan? I believe we are getting a call coming in
Oh.
on the office phones here. Are you
The
hearing this?
name I'm seeing, it looks like we've got a Bari Weiss on the line.
Oh no. Okay. All right. She's the new boss, so okay, we gotta
Oh.
look professional. Okay.
Look professional. Got it.
All right. All right. Looking good, buddy.
Oh. Wait, what? I thought this was a Paramount thing.
Oh. Well, I'm trying to, I guess do my best, landman.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Barry.
Hi,
Hello.
Barry.
Oh,
Barry,
yeah.
baby.
Good
How's it
evening.
going?
What are your names again?
I'm Devin.
And I'm Ethan.
How's it going, buddy?
Well, which is the tall one?
Oh, that's me. I'm the tall one.
Okay, so you're going to be my point person on this because we have a full agenda. We're going to be making some changes. This podcast is really not in line with the values of the American people. Why would the average American be interested in cultural detritus? We should be moving the great thinkers. Only the best content, only the most disruptive scoops.
So what exactly did you have in mind, Barry? If I may?
Well, first off, we're thrilled that you'll be streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus alongside such great shows as Tulsa King and Big Brother Tel Aviv. Viewers want to come to Paramount Plus knowing what to expect. Stories that speak to the heart of America. So we're going to want to be making some significant changes to get your content in line with our mission.
But in terms of
More
specifics,
more ads. We need to be synthesizing the marketplace of ideas with the marketplace of money. We need to be forwarding the products and services Americans desire that speak to the place most Americans already are. So sports gambling, crypto, election gambling, iodine pills, military intervention gambling, crypto, and sports gambling.
Well, we've never really done ads on the show. That's not really our style. We try to focus more on the nuanced discussion.
And that's your
of
big
cinema.
problem. That's your big problem. Movies. Why movies? We live in a multi-screen society, and you're only focusing on one of them. We're going to want to see conversation shifting episodes that tell the dangerous truths that are relevant to the average American. Israeli bomb shelter raves, why cancel culture is coming for AI, Bitcoin mining. What is it? The demon who holds my hand as I fall asleep, the marginal tax rate.
I'm just not sure, Barry, if that's our area of expertise.
Exactly. Which brings us to our second big change. Guests. Matt Powers, Dan Malinowski, JD Connor, Sam Catlin, General Slug. These are fringe operators forwarding a radical woke agenda. We need charismatic guests who speak to the concerns of average Americans. John Podhoretz, Mr. Beast, Ronald Reagan's Ghost, the Red Scare host, Clavicular.
Wait. Clavicular, the looks maxing guy?
Fantastic idea. Looks maxing. There's not nearly enough looks maxing. This show has almost no visual components.
Well, I mean, where it's a podcast, it's an audio medium.
So we're going to be pivoting to video.
That's really changing our format, actually.
I mean, Devin, we are technically, I suppose, recording in video for this. So
I did not consent to that. That's definitely going to count against you.
Well, we're willing to do our best.
Your best might not be good enough. We don't want best here at Paramount. We want better. You're going to need help with the adjustment as we try to maximize your value to the company. So we're going to be adding a third host.
A third host?
What?
And of course, a full rebrand.
Sorry?
Excuse me?
I'm so excited to announce that coming to Paramount Plus this spring is You're Tall, but I'm standing in front of you, and I'm Alan Dershowitz.
Whoa.
Hold on. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
Americans aren't comfortable, Denathan. They're angels and also geniuses, and they need trustworthy, established, everyday voices to help guide them through this chaotic news world. And Alan is the man for the job.
So, where is Alan? Is he going to be helping us out, prepping for the Oscar show, or like?
I'm not at liberty to say. So anyways, good luck, guys. I've got a blood colonic with Peter Thiel at 3. I need to go. Let's do the fucking pod.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That was quite a meeting, Devin. I did not expect that to go that way.
It's a little rough, but this media landscape, we're really excited to have Alan aboard. We're planning, hopefully he shows up tonight. He got our emails, and he can help us out with some of the later awards. But
haven't
I
heard
guess we
from
got to start
Alan.
doing these ads.
Alan would love to hear from you at some point, but I don't know if
and
you
also,
know how
Alan,
email...
if
yeah.
you...
That's actually not true. No,
you
do. I do know that you know how email works. So maybe I don't know why you're not responding to our messages.
And if you are hearing this, Alan, please remember that the Your Tall credit card is for business expenses only. There's been a lot of activity since you've got on board, and we want you to be comfortable, but we got to pay the bills. Which, speaking of,
I mean, Devin, I will say we are excited with this partnership with Paramount Plus. We have been really committed to our work with the neilyoungarchive.com, but we're excited to really expand this catalog by integrating with Paramount Plus. We'd like to share some of the upcoming shows happening on the platform that we think folks that listen to this podcast will find equally exciting. Yeah. So I'd like
that soon we'll be watching this podcast on Paramount Plus.
Absolutely. So folks can not only stream.
I'm so excited.
Wait, that I'm hot cop Cap, they call me, and I think what drives it home for me, we've got Cole Hauser, we've got Luke Grimes, they're both hot cops, but I think what drives it home for me, Devin, is the end of the last season when it was revealed the chief of of police was played by none other than Taylor Sheridan. I think I was, but you saw that he was potentially going to be kidnapped, and that to me, I cannot wait to see where this season goes. I think we're not only gonna have cops, Devin, but I think they're gonna be especially hot this season. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, you remember all the great scenes in last season where the hot cop shows up somewhere after he's been, called and explains to the people that there's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
And that they'll need to come and make a report at the station. And then, just long hours of him just driving in that car. It's honestly it verges on Terrence Malick at times, or even the dearly departed Bela Tarr. This just sort of ruminating camera, as this guy just sort of goes to the Dunkin' drive-thru, goes to the Starbucks drive-thru,
absolutely,
goes to the Chick-fil-A drive-thru,
takes
the trash accumulating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it to me, I appreciate it. If you remember last season, so probably mid-season 12, when Wes Bentley's character, I think so succinctly explained why he needed to fabricate evidence, because that's the only way we can put away the bad guys. And I think that it probably resonated with a lot of crime spiking, of course, throughout the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, everything's super safe now with the current administration, but like we also know it's extremely dangerous. And so that is something that I think this show really brings a voice to, that has really resonated with Americans all the way from, I've seen it all the way from, Byhalia, Mississippi to Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is the entirety of America is really resonating with this series.
Definitely. And speaking of series, we've got a series of our own to announce. So we are really excited to be debuting a new format for the show going forward, right?
Yeah.
We are, as we've said, been on a little bit of a hiatus since the Avatar Fire and Ash episode. But
we put it all out in that episode. Now we've been recharging after that. So
absolutely. But our plan is we are now going to be doing a format where we do 2 miniseries a year that are each culminating in a new film release, right?
And
so Yeah. So the idea with each of these, right, it's really just kind of an excuse to put some movies together, right, and kind of also be able to announce things in advance and whatnot. But we're tying Summer Vacation, of course, to the release of Chris Nolan's Odyssey in July, right? A film about a guy going on vacation, right, is how we kind of view it. So we're doing a bit of a cinematic preparation for that event. And so we will have episodes on National Lampoon's Vacation, right? Perhaps the most Homeric of them all.
God.
Paris, Texas. The Hobbit trilogy, which is Ethan's fault, and I will never forgive him.
Devin agreed to do it, so we both went into it. We watched all, I want to say 12 of the Hobbit films. I'm a different man now than I was when I began. I'm more so than Bilbo, frankly. So yeah, we've got the Hobbit trilogy.
Yeah, and on the Paris, Texas episode, I should mention we have Jourdain Searles as a guest.
Yep.
Searles, sorry. And then after Hobbits, got Spirited Away.
Yep.
And we should have an exciting guest on there that we'll announce once it's recorded. And Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah. And that all leads up to our episode on Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Now, Devin, I know you've been texting me a lot about how upset you are about the casting choices for this film. Do you want to comment on that at all?
Where's the history? Just look in the history books is all I'll say.
Yeah.
I want, and I think what we all want is an Odyssey that is just rigidly historically accurate. And by historically accurate, I mean accords with my made-up ideas about what the Odyssey was like.
Every single character should be, Anglo-Saxon or Germanic in background. I don't know why they're throwing all these different characters in here that, it's very ahistorical to the battle for Troy. It's very ahistorical in that regard. I think we need to
the European story.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
in all seriousness, though, I don't think it's going to be very good.
It's going to be.
We'll see.
It's going to be a steep hill. It's going to be a pretty steep hill.
It's
because I think Devin, we liked Oppenheimer, the first 2/3 of Oppenheimer, right?
Yes. Yes.
Do you think Christopher Nolan is similarly gonna blow the Odyssey in the third act when he returns home? Do you think it's gonna be like, now it's all about, we don't care about Odysseus, to be frank, like it was about the journey. We don't care about him going home and his wife is doing all this shit.
I just hope if Odysseus loses his security clearance at any point in the Odyssey, we know that that's gonna be what Nolan focuses on, right? But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see it when it comes out.
Yeah.
I am a bit of a Nolan defender sometimes. right?
Right. Yeah.
But when he's off, I find him very off, and
yeah,
willing to be convinced. But so far, what I'm seeing is like the Odyssey looks like all of his like worst tendencies, right? Like the like kind of wah of it all. And I kind of wish he would start like changing up his rhythm a little bit. It kind of feels like it's like he kind of feels like a band to me where like every song is like the same length, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't always want like a 9-minute song, you know?
Yeah.
But it should be an interesting series.
I think so. And I think we'll just give you a brief
The Christmas Adventurers Club. A horrible book. Horrible book. Yeah, but yeah. But the third time's a charm series, the
Yeah.
idea is we're going to do all third films in a series. So we're still figuring out what exactly those picks are going to be. So if you have a film that is the third in a sequence that you want an episode on, we're open to recommendations.
Please let us know.
I know we are definitely doing Godfather Part 3 because you haven't seen any of the Godfathers, and I really want to see what happens if you watch Godfather Part 3 as the only Godfather movie you've seen. But we'll figure out that one, and that one will come after July in the second half of the year, again, leading up to Dune 3 at Christmas time.
Yeah. We're really excited. I think we've got some spoiler alert, we've got some of these locked and loaded and ready to share here in the coming weeks that we have leading up to the Odyssey. And it's been a really good conversation and thinking about this idea of so we will be sure to share more about that in the coming weeks and months. But
All
Devin,
right. Let's do a quick Oscars check-in.
Yeah, how's it going? How are things going at these Oscars that are apparently? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. How are things going at the Oscars?
Well, it looks like one battle after another. Just one editing, I believe, is what's being given out right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that is interesting. That is looking, one battle is looking kind of unstoppable right now.
Yeah.
I think editing often correlates with Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. The screenplay Oscars went as expected. Sinners got original, and one battle after another got adapted. Not really any surprises there.
Yeah.
The documentary went Mr. Nobody against Putin, which I'm guessing was entirely based on people just reading the title and being like, "Oh, I agree with that sentiment," and not actually watching it. Short for something called All the Empty Rooms. Who fucking knows? I haven't seen them, to be honest with you. Sinners wins score though.
Oh,
over one battle.
Okay.
So Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
Coming away with one. Yeah. F1 always will be remembered as an Oscar-winning film. It won Best Sound.
The sound when those cars are when those F1 cars are when they're going, they make sound, Devin. Okay, you wouldn't deny that, correct?
Yeah,
Correct?
and I mean, I often feel like the best sound award is really the most sound award, right? So, yeah, cars go vroom vroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm being told by the chat that All the Empty Rooms is about school shootings. So that seems like harrowing stuff.
Yeah.
But again, kind of makes sense as the kind of thing that the Academy would vote for.
Yeah. Yep. You know, all you gotta do is vote. You know, we're on this podcast. I think, Devin. I think we're strong advocates of, you know, vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
Vote first, ask questions later, right?
Yeah, and if you don't get around to asking questions, that's fine, but make sure you vote. That's how you enact change in this world. Devin.
Yes.
We've gone through our exciting lineup for the coming year. But again, we're only one part of the incredible juggernaut that is Paramount Plus.
This is a brand new series, so it's a great chance to get in on the ground floor. It's Hot Cop Ice. We're building out the Hot Cop universe, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, this show, you know, I've of course seen the advanced copies as a part of the Paramount family. It's in the tradition of Buster Keaton, really. You know, these harebrained little officers, right? They're just constantly like slipping and sliding around, bonking their heads. It's like Tex Avery style. Absolutely infectious.
Yeah. And you got to root for the little guy. They are up against, you know, morality, the Constitution, just general
finding out that their $50,000 signing bonuses are fake.
Yep, you know, the divorce court is like takes up a lot of time, of course. It's
drunk
they're up
driving
against
takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean it can unless like let's just move on past this. So I mean it's they're up against a lot, and so you really sort of like you root for the little guy, the little fascist agent that is terrorizing and murdering various you know, whoever they see. And so we're excited for Hot Cop Ice, because the most important thing is, of course, as we've all seen through the images, that ICE agents, definitely hot cops. They're so hot. They're not, you know, I wouldn't describe them as like the lowest rung of every single characteristic of American society. They are definitely cool, hot people that everyone looks up to and admires and thinks are, you know, deserve to have visitation rights. What do you think, Devin?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
what else is there
Sinners
to say?
won best cinematography. So that's interesting.
Great pivot.
So editing and cinematography splitting between One Battle and Sinners.
Wow.
So, you know, maybe things tightening up.
Yeah.
What did you think of Sinners, by the way? We haven't really talked about it much on the pod.
That is the thing where we didn't have an episode on Sinners. We had an episode on One Battle After Another, and I was very exhausted during it. But Sinners, I went into it. I was really fucking busy and tired that weekend, I remember. And my wife essentially was like, let's go see Sinners. And I was like, oh, fine. And I went in, and actually I was pleasantly surprised. And I think it was the scene where the song that is not going to win or did not win Best Song and lost to K-pop Demon Hunters, because that's how that goes. That's the seed where I realized, like, oh, this is an interesting film. This film is this is cool. We've gone from this historical piece to like a vampire film, essentially. The thing that I found really cool about Sinners, and it turned out like, oh yeah, it's because they hired experts from the region, is it seemed like it's more than any other film I've watched. I think it's probably the most accurate depiction of the Mississippi Delta in say the 1920s,
where you used to live,
19...
of course.
Well, yeah,
not
where
not in the 1920s,
not in the 1920s, but the sort of the characters, the sort of vibe of those communities. I think they captured it so well in that film in a way that would have been so easy to make it into a caricature. They actually did a very good job of creating characters that seemed real to that time and place. And so I think both my wife and I, who both lived in the Mississippi Delta, were very pleasantly surprised by that film, how they dealt with the setting. And of course, like vampire attacks it's a real part of the history of the Mississippi Delta. And so I'm glad that they touched on that. And that was really exciting to see. What would you say about Sinners, Devin?
Oh, I mean, I thought it was great. Great time at the movies. I feel like I like it in a little different way than maybe the mainstream discourse likes it.
Right.
Like,
You said you think your word. You said we need more of the Irish stuff. I think that's what you said.
Let's just talk about it seriously for a second, okay? It's I cannot be doing like 14 characters while also trying to actually talk about the movie, right?
Yeah.
So, to me, it's like in this tradition of the like kind of action movies from a pre-IP franchise world. Obviously not actually pre it, but this complete domination of franchises that we're now in. It reminds me of that kind of old school blockbuster, right? And it's like the kind of film that like, you want there to be a bunch of like direct to DVD sequels that no one ever sees, where it's like, I forget which one dies, Smoke or Stack, right? But it turns out he's still alive, and then like they're going on more like harebrained vampire adventures,
Yeah.
But obviously one transcendent scene, I think, the big musical number. Some really nice texture. I really like the ensemble cast overall.
Yep.
And what was interesting to me about it was it kind of synthesizes some of the genres that like still exist in that haven't been swallowed whole by franchisification. So like the musical, right? Which is kind of resistant to that a little bit. Horror, which has always been kind of like, one of the ways that you can still get like original films made, and that even directors like, can get kind of like a bit of like a control over their films, right?
Yeah.
And then of course like what you might call like the social issue picture, right? Like the film dealing with like problems in the American scene, and particularly in regards to race, right? So kind of synthesizing those three and then being able to also make this like runaway box office hit that resonates in this different way than like we're used to seeing in theaters anymore. Very interesting kind of exception to the rules, of mainstream cinema.
Yeah, it almost made me think back to, we have our episode on Demons, season 2, episode 5, where we talk about those films, and yes, the goriness is naturally a part of that sort of genre, but it's saying more than just that, right? And I think like Demons is very grounded in, Italian media in the 70s and 80s, whereas like this context, this setting of the Mississippi Delta in the late 1920s or early 1930s, like it's just such an interesting setting to put a vampire film in ways that draws in. And of course, I think you could say like maybe Coogler is a bit like, on the nose. Like at the end, it's like, okay, now we're going to kill all the fucking Klansmen. Like we're just going to have a scene where we blow them to bits. But it's such an interesting setting for that sort of film to draw out some interesting themes. I love how like the Choctaw vampire hunters show up briefly and are like, well, fuck this, fuck all these people who are letting the vampires into their houses because they're racist. We're gonna get out of here because the sun is setting. It's such a cool, unique setting that they made for this film.
Definitely. It's like one of the, I feel like the music venue in that film is one of now like the iconic like buildings in cinema, actually. Like it's like, such a you really get to know it as a space in that film, just like something like the Overlook Hotel in The Shining or something, right? These kind of like iconic like locations in Hollywood cinema. Very, very, very cool. But to not speak about good movies anymore, shall we bring Dan on?
Yeah. Let's talk on the other side of things about a bit of the
The only power I have is that I believe we can do better. We can't demand that people step up and we don't meet them halfway. You control the banks.
Howdy,
you
folks.
can move borders. You can knock down a forest with the email. You can feed 1 million people with the phone call.
One sec.
But the question is, who's in the room with you when you're making those decisions? Is it the people you're going to impact? Or is it just more people like you? I mean, this girl died trying to stop you. And no one has stopped for 1 second to ask why. You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up. Because if you don't, the next Carly will. And you don't want to see 2.0. People believed in her cause so much that they helped her defy the strongest governments in the world. Why do you think that is? Look, you people have just as much power as an insane god or a misguided teenager. The question you have to ask yourself is, how are you going to use it?
Wow, that clip gets me every time. It's a real.
I can't believe you played that whole thing.
It's a real. I'm gonna do it every year. It's because it really it's the moral center of the MC universe, and it really makes you think about the state of the slop. But that was, I want to say, 12 years ago that series came out.
I have no idea. But let's talk some slop. It's Dan Malinowski, everybody. Bad Opinions, man. How's it going, Dan?
What's up, everybody? I'm so excited to talk today about, I guess, phases 5 and 6.
They're still doing phases? Do they still call them phases? Like,
they still call them phases. They still call them phases. And last year we had a split phase. So let's acknowledge it. We started the year with phase 5.
Few years have split phase years. That's exciting.
Yeah. It's like leap years.
Mm-hmm. So catch us up, right? We know I saw the horrible Captain America movie, probably worst film I saw that year. I saw the, to me, very, very disappointing Fantastic Four movie. How did these do? What is going on with Marvel right now? And then we should also talk some DC as well, I think, right?
Yeah, DC, whole other kettle of fish. Obviously, you guys are going to share a parent company soon. So
yes,
that's something we'll get to.
Of course.
And, who knows if James Gunn will continue to lead that side of things. So one of you might be taking over.
Yeah, we can hope. We can definitely hope.
So what is Phase 5 of the MCU? Phase 5 of the MCU begins with the film you remember most of all, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Oh wow!
Hey.
So like they had filmed all of this, I presume, before the allegations.
Yes, before Jonathan Majors bravely broke up that fight.
Yeah, and then but it's been so long. That feels like a different life from now. There were some rumors, I feel like, and maybe you can tell us a bit about, Dan, how, like, there were some rumors like, oh, they're going to bring Jonathan Majors back because something happened in the court where it's okay that he did all these things. Then Disney's like, we're not going to bring him back.
It's
and
also
now
like,
he's
man,
doing he's doing Daily Wire. Feels like
he's got no juice is the thing. It's like horrible person, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I watched Quantumania finally, and it's like he's not even any good. And it's like they completely like hitched their wagon to this guy. It sounds like, by the way, Javier Bardem got a Free Palestine into the mic, is what I'm seeing in the chat. I have it muted, so I didn't hear it, but very cool.
Very cool.
And looks like Sentimental Value won Best International Picture, which I think was pretty expected given all the other nominations it got.
Okay.
And speaking of sentimental value, that is the only value Disney has gotten out of the Phase 5 films, which have, to a film, been disappointing for this film studio. Thunderbolts was a huge, well, not a huge mess, but a big mess for a film of that cost. Brave New World underperformed, and Fantastic Four bravely got to expectations. So we're not Disney's in rough shape with the Marvel films right now.
Yeah.
Especially because the best reviewed of those, Thunderbolts, is described by critics as watchable.
And is the sense that, like, because these films like losing money at this point, or is it just that we're not because they're still bringing in decent numbers, like, right? But it's not like,
let's be clear, insane numbers. It's just they somehow take insane amounts of money to make.
Yeah,
Thunderbolts might have lost money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. So it's not doing great. Let's see. Let's see how our friends over with Cap are doing. They did. Let's see. Did he make it? Yes. Captain America did better than Thunderbolts. Still barely breaking even.
Yeah.
So we're doing rough here. And Fantastic Four. Why not just look at that just to be safe? Fantastic Four does okay as well. So we're not, they aren't billion. None of them broke $1 billion. I think together they broke $1 billion.
Yeah.
What about? I've heard some random things about the shows on Disney Plus because 5 years ago streaming was like, oh, everything's gonna be streaming. Disney Plus is coming about and they're gonna make billions of dollars because everyone's gonna sign up to it, and then the shows on Disney Plus, both not only Marvel but like Star Wars, like all these tentpoles that were gonna be the breadwinners, everyone's like, oh, this is absolute, which is a real accomplishment for the general audience to say, oh, this is shit. But I heard I know they've had some recent Disney Plus shows that have been better received, but yet is anyone even watching that at this point? Like, what's going on the streaming side of things?
These are excellent questions. Nothing this year has been well received.
Jesus.
Daredevil Born Again, snooze. Complete snooze. I am looking forward to the second season only because they filmed it near my apartment and I ran by their catering trucks every day. So Daredevil, but I cannot. This shit sucks. Nothing happens. Daredevil's sad the whole time. They had to reshoot it. Apparently, in the original version of the season, he doesn't show up as Daredevil for like 4 or 5 episodes.
Oh my god!
It was just a courtroom drama.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I actually kind of like that. Kind of is like the vibe of like the Brian Bendis era of Daredevil, right?
What about
that is the kind of thing?
Sorry, go. Yeah, Devin.
I mean, that is just the kind of thing that you don't, when you're kind of on your back heels like Marvel is right now. I don't think like court drama Daredevil isn't gonna save you, right? That's like the show you make when you are at the height of your cultural power, and like you can indulge in the Daredevil doesn't show up till episode 5 because people will watch anything, right? But it seems like the shows have really been just from like even just talking to my students when I'm like, "Are you guys still into these movies?" It seems like them feeling the pressure to have to watch all these shows is affecting whether or not they go see the movies because they're like, I'm not going to do like 8 hours worth of homework so I can understand Ant-Man 3, you know?
Dan, have you seen Wonder Man?
We're skipping ahead.
Oh, I'm
we're
sorry.
all forgetting Ironheart. Okay?
I'm so sorry.
Ironheart does not exist. Like, no show has ever existed less.
And it introduces Jewish devil Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They went. They committed to that.
They committed to that. So we have to presume that's going to matter at some point to someone, right?
Yeah. Or he's never seen again. Because let's be clear, he wasn't seen the first time because no one watched Ironheart. So I mean, easy to.
There are tens of us who sat
We're
through
about to
all
get
of
best
Ironheart.
original song, by the way.
Oh,
we
wow.
Will see if
It's
Diane
gonna
Warren somehow
Yeah.
against the defiance of God can finally win an Oscar.
It's gonna be Demon Hunters. It's gonna be K-pop.
It's a recipe to go up against Golden.
Yeah, but like I heard through the grapevine, and I haven't watched it. I heard that Wonder Man was
Golden
solid.
Wins.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
You know, the problem is it's like it has that kind of embarrassment thing of like, oh no, we don't think the superhero stuff's that cool.
Okay, so they're like, we realize that this is dumb, so we're trying to counter program against what is like okay.
It's very knowing. And Wonder Man, frankly, is the least interesting character in all of Marvel, which is pretty tough. But they somehow get him there.
What even is Wonder Man's deal?
So Wonder Man is a movie star who is also the personality of Vision. Because Ultron steals his personality, sticks him in, they don't bring this up in the MCU, but there exists an original Flaming Man, right? The original robot from the 1940s.
The Human Torch.
The Human Torch. Still canon.
The original Human Torch was not a human. He's a robot.
Right. He's a robot. He's the body of Vision.
Oh my God, I did not realize that.
Combined with the soul or whatever of Wonder Man, which is why Wonder Man and the Scarlet Witch have an ongoing flirtation. And the cowards at Marvel Cinematic Universe are unwilling to do this. And then you read anything with Wonder Man in it, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, let him die.
Yeah.
So, not a lot of hope there. And what we have to look forward to is Vision Quest in the future.
Is that still happening?
It's still happening. It's the last announced MCU TV show, I think.
Wow.
And then in terms of films, it's just all waiting for Doomsday, right?
We got Doomsday. Hey, we have the, for whatever reason, hidden Spider-Man film this July.
Which that was not on my radar at all.
There's going to be a Spider-Man film this summer?
Yep. There's going to be a Spider-Man film. It's going to have the Hulk and the Punisher in it. And probably Jean Grey, if the rumors are to be believed.
Jesus.
And
Jean Grey.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Played one of the better actors in Stranger Things is playing Jean Grey, it seems. Could be wrong.
Oh, yeah. What's her name? Okay. Yeah.
Sadie Sink.
Are we going to get an Echo season 2?
That's a great question. I hope she shows up in Daredevil season 2. Jessica Jones is back. So that's exciting.
I saw, okay.
Famously, the person to work with, Kristen Ritter.
How are we feeling about Doomsday? Is Doomsday going to be the, okay, we're not fucking around anymore, we're back, we're Marvel, and records are smashed? Or is it going to be
Doomsday?
Is it going to continue the chain of disappointment?
I think Doomsday does great. I'm going to call it now. Doomsday is going to do great. Will that help the individual films? No idea. But Doomsday's gonna do great, and my evidence for this is the man who at my Avatar 3 screening stood up behind me and shouted, "Yeah, let's go, Steve!" When they showed the teaser. So I think there's people pounding.
It really does feel like it's like this desperation, like storming of the beaches of Normandy kind of mission where they're like, Patrick Stewart is in the boat.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen is in the boat. You know,
here's though, you can talk shit about this though, Devin, but like, maybe this is where Disney is better on the pulse than you or I. Like, think about the year and a half that we have had in the world. Don't you just want to go back to the slop of like late Obama era? Like, oh, this is really bad, but this isn't end times bad, right? Like, there's not going to be no one's going to drop a nuclear bomb on Tehran. Like, it's, so I think maybe this is a calling back to a world that no longer exists, that people are going to be like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. as fill it in. Oh, Steve Rogers is back. I don't know. I think it might work.
Well, because here's the thing, right? Dan and I have been spending the last year, like me getting back into, and I think, Dan, you for the first time, right?
When I was younger, I read a ton of Vertigo shit, but I never read any Cape comics.
Yeah. We've been getting really into like superhero comics together.
Oh, okay.
Like our DMs are just like panels from and pages from superhero comics being sent back and forth now. So I think this could just be a product of that. But the way that I think I know Doomsday is just going to do great is because I find even myself being like, I could kind of go for an Avengers Doomsday. I'm reading all these comic books. I'm really in like the mood for like the individual films do not hold any interest for me. They look bad, but when it's like, oh yeah, but just seeing all the guys together, that would really go down easy right now,
Yeah.
Which is also kind of what Superman was doing for me. We talked about it in our episode, but I loved Superman because it felt to me like I was reading a comic book, like when I was a kid, and there's just crazy shit happening all the time and tons of lore that you're in the middle of. Yeah. So, we'll see. But
yeah, so
and it's what did you think of Superman, Dan?
Oh, I loved it. I liked it a lot. I shouldn't say I loved it. I mean, obviously it's a movie with problems, but it was so nice to like watch one of these and like have fun, which I forgot that you're allowed to do when you watch
and you know what I'll say? I think a lot of times like we don't feel that we have permission to say that we loved it because they are like slop. But you know what? Superman, like, that was slop. Like that brought you back to what like slop was meant to be. And I think that it's okay to say you loved it, because I loved Superman, and it's not a high bar to pass, but like it really was like, oh yeah, like the basic concept of empathy being an aspect of a film seemed so nostalgic that it was like, oh, we're back, we're back. This is amazing.
Then it was like the pairing with like the Marvel films constantly lately always being about like doing like Malthusian calculations about like population control and whether or not technocracy is good and all this shit. And I was just like, man, I watched a superhero movie that was fun, and like when he like beat up bad people, I like was like, yeah, something to be said for it. Sometimes you do want the chicken fingers, Sometimes you're at the bar and they've got like the fancy salad or like the like experimental sandwich or whatever, and you just want the chicken fingers. And that's all I want these movies to be. And I thought Superman did it. The movie the slop that I was not happy with though last year, getting out of the superhero genre, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. That movie was a fucking mess. What did you guys see that?
Unfortunately,
I didn't actually.
I love them. I love the series, but the first hour is like, how would you describe the pacing of that first hour, Dan? It's like really rapid. It's like strange.
It is so clearly a movie that was made in post.
Yeah.
It's just like it's unpleasant to watch. There's like gestures towards it being about something. Also, PTA just won Best Director.
Oh wow! There we go.
Yeah, here we go. So, yeah. So I mean, there's just not much going. There's nothing nothing happens in it. Everything that happens, you're like, why did this happen? Remember, and I'm still pissed. You know, they were supposed to have gone to space, and I don't know which fucking insurance jackass prevented him from filming in space and dying.
Yeah.
But instead, we just get this fucking like plane stunt that doesn't make sense in the plot of the movie. Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
Wait, so they never went to that was like a whole like news story. It was like Tom Cruise is going to go to space, right? So that never happened?
No.
And it's like the only way for those movies to keep going is because those movies are about Tom Cruise trying to die while making a movie.
Yeah.
That's sort of like the id that is motivating those movies. And this is like and they stopped him. They were like, no, you don't get to do this. And so the movie just, it has nothing.
He's our evil Knievel. We need him to bleed for us.
And I totally agree, Dan. I've never seen a movie that more feels like it's being made in post. And I know that's something we point out a lot about these kind of slop movies, but often it's a little more, it's like not something I'm actively thinking about all the time. You cannot ignore it in Final Reckoning. It's just like beating you over the head. There's literally a line towards the end where the one character's like, his name's Degas, I think, and he says like, there's like two rooms where two different kind of tasks are being accomplished, and he goes, I'll stay with you. There's nothing for me to do in the control room. Like, excuse me, the screenwriters haven't been able to think of a function that I would serve in that scene, so I'm going to stay here. And then, of course, he later becomes necessary because it turns out they need 3 people to cut 3 wires simultaneously. So he's like, fortunately there, but they couldn't have him be like, I'll stay out here because we're going to be surprised and find out that we need 3 people instead of 2. Mess of a film.
Jesus.
Yes. But, speaking of films
Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor.
What? Okay.
Nice, good for him.
Okay.
Yo,
we're on opposite slot fest.
Look, that's very exciting. I hope he comes back in another dream sequence in Black Panther 3. Where he
just bring him back to life. It's comics.
They got Sam Jackson for that one. He's booked for it.
Listen, I think he has a real potential in The Wire Walk With Me. He can really come back in that sequel limited series. I think he can pull it through.
Wire Walk With Me is good. I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Well, this is things are in as an affront to how we normally think of how things go. Things are actually happening at the Oscars this year. But
yeah, Michael Jordan
I'd love though,
his,
but like
speech.
But Dan, just like, what is the state of slop? Like, are things gonna rebound? Are we in a death spiral? Like, where does 2026 into 2027 up until next year's Oscar season? Like, where is slop gonna be? Like, what do you anticipate in this coming year?
I'm gonna, before I give my answer, I want to turn this around real quick because this will tie into my answer. There are 2 DCU films coming out this year as part of Chapter 1. They're not doing phases at DC. They're too classy. They're classy over at DC. They're doing chapters.
Wow.
We're in Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters.
Sure we are.
What do you think the third film of Gods and Monsters is? Film 2 is Supergirl. We got
Is it Brave and the Bold?
It is not Brave and the Bold. It is a different movie.
We've got Supergirl. I'm assuming we've got the second Superman film.
That's number 4.
You'd think it would be like a Batman film. But
but they're kind of messed up with Batman because they've got this separate Batman thing.
Yeah, James Gunn is going to be like, I'm going to do something that like sounds really dumb, but will be very dumb, and no one will watch.
And the Flash guy is attached to Brave and the Bold, so I don't know how much they're dying to get that one out.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So what is this? What is the third one?
I want you to guess. I want you to think of the weirdest possible answer, and you're not going to get it. But I want you to try.
Okay.
Is it like... Is it like Slade or whatever his name is, like the Teen Titans villain guy? The guy who kind of looks like Deadshot.
My guess,
Deathstroke.
Yeah.
My guess is gonna be some like Green Lantern shit. They've like sort of they've built up the Green Lantern shit, and now we're gonna do a Green Lantern verse thing.
That's a TV show that comes out in 2 months, so also wrong. Just called Lanterns, which Grant Morrison is very upset about.
A Wonder Woman that is somehow more problematic than the current iteration, the recent iteration.
Now, all right,
a Rhodesian Wonder Woman. Sorry. Why don't you just tell us what is this film that we're clearly flailing and failing to anticipate?
It's Clayface.
That is weird.
Like
the bat
as a standalone film. So, okay, hold on.
Who do you think Clayface is?
Hold up. I know who Clayface is.
What is your conception of Clayface?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a former like film star, and then he like got the Clayface, and now he's a fucking mess. And how can you have a Clayface film without having a Batman?
I'm just shocked you know who Clayface is, honestly.
Well, think more of me. I know things. I know a few things. So like, how do you? So you go Wonder Girl. What is it? Supergirl. And then the next one is
Clayface.
That is so
right
weird.
after it.
Yes.
So we don't have a Batman.
Body horror.
We don't have a Batman.
It's a body horror film written by
Is
Mike
Batman
Flanagan.
going to be a character in it?
Wait,
who knows?
Written by who? Sorry, Ethan.
Mike Flanagan.
Huh.
Yeah.
That is very strange. I mean, kind of an interesting idea. It seems like they're trying to do kind of like that terrible 2015 Fantastic Four that tried to be kind of like the body horror Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to do something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. One of the weird things about the DCU's canonicity that it's developing for itself is so much of it takes place in the TV shows, right? Like the most world building we've gotten is in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So it's this sort of weird thing where he's built out a universe a little bit before we've gotten the actual tentpoles, and I guess part of his strategy to not get into the Marvel. So now we get back to the question of where's Slop going. I think the DC strategy, as Gunn sees it currently, is doing a lot more cheaper things in between the tentpoles. So you don't get trapped into this cycle of, oh my God, when's Thor 6 coming out? And how do we justify $50 million on star salaries? Instead, you get to do weird films every third film.
So do you think Gunn doesn't
smart
want
idea,
to do Gunn doesn't want to do Batman? Is that what you think?
I bet that's complicated. I bet the existence of the interminably dour Batman films by what's his face kind of puts him in a bad position.
Yeah.
I think they've just got to wait for that to finish before they can really do a full-on Batman thing, and that might actually work out fine for them because they can kind of introduce Batman into the universe at some point.
Yeah, that's
I do think it makes sense. Like as a, we're talking about how we think Doomsday is going to do fine, right? But it's like these like relatively minor character Marvel movies that cost like $380 million. Like that's how you kind of end up in this problem, right? It's not a bad idea to see like what happens if we do sort of like weirder, cheaper movies in between our big tentpoles.
Yeah.
That don't need to make $1 billion to be profitable.
Yeah.
Right, but I do want to end this on a bummer note. James Mangold is attached to Swamp Thing.
Oh God, man. Does he think Swamp Thing is like a blues musician or something? Do you think
so
that
that's
he's gonna force Johnny Cash into this one too? Because you know that Johnny Cash wasn't there. The way Johnny Cash is at the concert at the end of that movie is ahistorical. He just was like throwing Johnny Cash in like it's an Avengers movie.
Yeah, that's Dan, that's disappointing. Do you have, I mean, as we close this segment out, like what is the state of slop? Are we back in a big way, or are we slugging it? Is it gonna be real rough in the next year? Because like we've got Doomsday, but is that tentpole gonna be enough to elevate the slop to where people are, ignoring the world around us to enjoy it, or like are we past that point? Where do you think we are in this next year in the state of slop?
I think Marvel's in tough shape. I don't really see. Marvel needs to pull out of their tailspin.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are unable to release sequels to films that people actually like Shang-Chi, very bad sign. I don't think we have a lot of hope for Marvel. DC, question mark. We're going to see if this strategy works. Who knows if audiences will respond? I personally am more excited to see a Clayface film, probably, than
like a 17th Batman. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll kill myself during the Batman 2. Like the Batman 1 is
Batman
the
1 was so bad.
Released. It just is fucking interminable.
I just wish Batman the Batman, I think if it would have had a fourth hour, that could have really sold me.
Jesse Buckley, as expected, won Best Actress. So no upset there.
Yeah,
but for The Bride, which is the upset. They just give it to her for The Bride.
Yeah.
Well, we all know that it's like they're so eager to give The Bride the awards. They were like, let's start doing it now.
Yeah, look,
they should give it Best Picture.
We have so many films.
So it's all just down to Best Picture now. Wow. We've got everything else out. Not really any major surprises, right? Like pretty predictable, pretty chalk.
Oh, but sweet.
So before we come into the end of the Oscar show and the end of our stream, I mean, anything to give us any comfort coming into this coming year, or to pretend the end of all things? Where are you at? What are we thinking?
What am I thinking? Being nice is punk. That's what I'm taking away.
Okay, we're James Gunn crew here. We're bought in.
James
Gunn,
okay. World historical events have made libs of us all. Yeah, and we just gotta.
Yeah.
Well, and this is just how insidious this all is, right? The slop industry, to update Adorno's phrase. Because here I am trying to be the guy that's structural analyst, structural analyst rather.
You're doing
of
great.
The cinematic situation, right? And yet, it's like Coke and Pepsi. I find myself having a preference, right? And my preference right now is for DC. And so, even though I really want just all of this to stop, can't resist picking a team, but would love to see the little engine that could DC take down the big mean bully MCU.
Well, DC's way outselling Marvel right now, so
in terms of the comics.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it makes sense to me because, tell me if I haven't gotten caught up to the modern stuff yet with Marvel, but my understanding is they really made the books kind of subservient to the movies. Like they stopped making Fantastic Four when they didn't have the rights to make the movies for a while, and things like that. Whereas it seems like DC is from what I'm understanding, they're just kind of empowering writers more.
I mean, I think a big thing about that seems to be the problem at Marvel is that the editorial over there is sclerotic in a way that DC's just isn't. Where you have men like Tom Brevoort, who've been working in the editorial offices for 40 years, who are adamantly opposed to change happening to characters like the X-Men. And then you just have no real direction. So, this year though, they've hired over a bunch of DC writers to exclusive contracts, and now we're going to see if they can bring some of the old magic back. So, as in film, so in pages. We're going to see what happens.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Dan. I will see you in the comic book trenches. I'm still in the midst of. I'm currently reading the 1990s series when Batman has had his back broken and he is replaced. I know what you're saying, by Robin, right? No, no, no. Oh, by Nightwing, right? No, no, no. By a French assassin who was trained by a group of monks to become like a killing machine, in defending their worldview. And Bruce Wayne's like, "Hey, dude, you've got the right build. I want people to still think it's me. Wear the costume."
Great.
Movies could never.
Yep.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Dan, thank you so much. And that is the year in slop.
LFG. We'll see. Adios.
See you then.
Wow.
As Best Picture is being announced, nominees are being
Let's
listed.
announce our Best Picture.
We do
Devin.
have one more. We do have the equivalent, the only award more prestigious than Best Picture, right? And that's, of course, the Henry Kissinger Memorial Award for circling the drain of humanity.
I was so excited for this award because I thought that Benjamin Netanyahu was going to be dead by the time of this broadcast. But it turns out that this world is cruel and bad. What can we say about the Henry Kissinger Memorial Award for circling the drain of humanity, Devin? What is there even to say about this?
There was simply too many nominees.
There's no way.
Is what it came down to.
The Academy was locked. It was a deadlock, right?
Well, and I think unfortunately part of what has happened is that the drain of humanity is being circled so heavily that the actual meaning of humanity may be changing.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's so true.
we are just having to hold the award in reserve this year. We can only give this award out when it is clear. And there just wasn't there just was not the there's too many bad people, too many evil people, and awarding any of them actually feels honestly like too disgusting. Even giving them an award for being so terrible feels to diminish that.
The one upside is that I could imagine a world where in the next year we have a clear winner. So I think that, let us imagine a world where there's a very clear.
Yeah. And meanwhile, speaking of, the struggle to, be able to give out more of these kind of awards continues.
Yeah.
One bow after another one. Best Picture. So it's I feel like that the story of the night is that there was a lot of kind of discourse online, kind of, suggesting there was a film other than One Battle that could and should win, and it was just the film in the eyes of the voters. I think it was just a kind of undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'm happy with it. It's no Resurrection, it's no Be Gone's Resurrection, but it's a pretty good little movie. So,
I think honestly, I'll be curious your thoughts, Devin, but this overall vibe of these Oscars, the fact that One Battle won is great. I think I'm on board with that. The fact that Sinners had a great number of awards, like they had some great wins as well, is also good to see.
I mean, it's fucking crazy. I know it's like it's the movie has been such a in our minds for so long that like it's like, oh, of course, one battle after another one.
Yeah.
It is fucking crazy that a Thomas Pynchon adaptation
Yep.
is the best picture winner. That's wild.
Can I say though, I was so surprised that I think I was able to follow the plot of this film more so than maybe any other PTA film that I've seen. And I've seen pretty much every one of them. Like I thought, oh, I'm watching a Pynchon adaptation written and directed by PTA. I'm not gonna understand what's happening at most points, and I understood I was able to follow along. Most of his other films, I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you doing, buddy?
Well, and I do think
I
that's
think
why...
that's like he somehow made a Pynchon novel the most accessible PTA film maybe he has ever done.
It's and that for that reason is why I think that Inherent Vice is the superior. I think it's the superior film in general, but the superior Pynchon adaptation because Inherent Vice actually feels like how a Pynchon novel feels.
Yeah.
One Battle After Another is not Pynchonian in form, right?
No.
It's taking ideas and concepts from the novel, but it really is like Paul Thomas Anderson just being kind of a master of like populist, spectacular cinema.
Yeah, and I think I've talked to you at least, maybe not on the pod, but the fact that my wife and I went to go see Inherent Vice in film on the screen, and I think the way it worked was I fell asleep for the first half, and my wife fell asleep for the second half, and at the end we both woke up and we're like, oh, that was a pretty good film. And so but we didn't understand what the fuck it was about, and maybe no one understood what the fuck it was about. I feel like maybe it is a bad thing to say about our current society that people can understand what the film is about. People could resonate with it.
Reality has become Pynchonian.
Yeah,
right?
it, like you watch it, You're like, oh, the beginning of the film starts with a concentration camp in Texas. No, that tracks, and that might be where like we're in such a hideous moment in history that PTA adapting a Thomas Pynchon novel seems accessible and urgent. And
I mean, I think that's the thing, right? If we compare the two, right? It's Inherent Vice is putting reality through a Pynchonian lens, right? Is what the film is doing. It's kind of creating a Pynchonian affective experience for the viewer, right?
Yep.
And One Battle After Another is really like training the camera on the world that has become Pynchonian, but the treatment of the material is actually not Pynchonian, right? The content, what the camera's pointing at is Pynchonian, but the camera itself is actually almost weirdly like objective, right? It's the images are speaking for themselves a little bit. And in that way, I think they're such a fascinating pairing. Right?
Yeah.
I think it would be really interesting to like do a course where you watch both movies and read both novels.
Yeah.
And thought about, what is this telling us about this eternal present that we seemingly have been living in, the long downturn, turning and turning over and over and over. But it was a great movie. It's cool that that a movie I legitimately think was great won an Oscar. I hope even more people see it, right?
Yeah.
And again, no resurrection, but maybe next year they'll finally give one of my Chinese faves the time of day.
It's such a temporal aspect of these awards that a film that was great just like 13 months before they won't even consider. So maybe Resurrection they'll upend that trend. They'll get less chronological, and we maybe see it. We'll see that as the best picture. But wow, what a journey we have been on. full of both surprises and unsurprises this award season. Of course, we have shied away from some more grueling aspects of our lived experiences with the choices that have been chosen, like documentary. Sure, cool, okay, but Hollywood loves to try and pretend that they understand how bad things are while not going too deep into any implication that would require them to change their ways. And I think this Oscars has done a good job of towing the line of that balancing act. And here we are.
Thankfully, that is not a line that we have to toe.
Yeah.
So we will be excited to see you all in just a couple weeks, really, when we finally kick off summer vacation, starting a little early maybe, with our episode on National Lampoon's Vacation, which, my favorite part of doing these things, like the Water series, the 9/11 series, and now these, right?
Yeah.
Is, the things that we aren't anticipating, where it's like, it would be funny to do National Lampoon's Vacation as a lead up to the Odyssey. And then we watch it and we're like, holy shit, this is a Homeric film about, this is the Odyssey of the middle-aged white American boomer.
Yep, absolutely.
It is the epic poem of that very particular type of guy who unfortunately has way too much control over what happens in the rest of the world.
Yep. So we've got I think a great two-parter for these series kicking off throughout the year leading up to our tentpoles, which are, of course, The Odyssey and Dune Part 3.
Which I can only hope is an incredibly traditional adaptation of Dune Messiah, a book that almost entirely consists of Paul talking and having meetings and glowingly comparing himself to Adolf Hitler.
Hell yeah,
Not kidding.
brother.
That is in the book.
Hell yeah,
he's
brother.
Killed even more people, and he's like, I'm that many times better.
Yeah, he's like Genghis Khan, Adolf Hitler. Yeah, Adolf Hitler. That's the tentpole I'm gonna latch myself to. So.
Well, anyway, it's always a pleasure, Ethan.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. Usually a pleasure. And I think that's our third annual, Devin. The third annual
Oscars counter programming.
Absolutely.
You can find us on social media at Your Tall Pod. The Twitch is, of course, twitch.tv/YourTallButt, only one T. I'm at Stale Cooper.
Don't
He's
forget our
at
YouTube.
Mississippi.
Don't forget our YouTube channel as well, where this will be posted.
This will be posted on YouTube. We've also got a lot of the old episodes and bits up there.
Yep, including our past Oscar
page.
episodes are all on there as well.
Definitely. Thank you to Mike B.
Yep.
Thank you to Dan.
Yep.
Thank you to our new boss, Bari Weiss.
Absolutely. We love you.
And thank you to my girlfriend Slug, who obviously wasn't a part of the show in any way, but I really appreciate her emotional support.
Yeah.
And as always,
hey, keep circling that drain.
Hell yeah.